G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here with another Baldur's Gate 3 tutorial video. So, you want to play a Spellcaster. If you're like me and you wanted to try out playing a Warlock or a Wizard, maybe even a Cleric, you might have found that you're finding it very hard to stay alive. When I first started playing this game, if you saw my Twitch streams, I picked a Warlock. And I got in there and it looked really fun, and then a little way in we got into combat and I found that I was getting mercilessly cut down all the time. The opponents would target me, they would knock me down, and even when I was down they would keep hitting until my character actually died in some cases. And that was extremely off-putting. So I started another playthrough as a Ranger, and everything seemed fine until I got my whole party together. And then, once it was a Ranger, Lizelle the fighter, and then I got Shadowheart, suddenly Shadowheart was getting targeted all the time. And I was like, okay. And then I got the Rogue, Astian, and he started getting targeted all the time. So I kicked him out of the party, and we got Gale, the Wizard, and he started getting attacked all the time. So I kicked him out of the party, and we got Weil, the Warlock. And frankly, he started getting attacked all the time. And so I did some experimenting. And it turns out that the problem is not that the game targets spellcasters specifically. What it does target is the person with the least armor. Viciously, it will find the character with the least armor and cut them down every time in battle. That's what your opponents target. Now, this may change outside of early access, I don't know, and there will be specific instances where they will target other characters, but in general, you'll find that opponents will target the least armored character. So I looked at it then and said, well, what do I want to do? If I want to play a Warlock or a Wizard, what options do I have? Let's have a look. Right, so we want to be a spellcaster, but we want to live a bit longer. How do we do that? Well, our options for race, I can only see two combinations that are going to work here. They're very specific. Each of them sort of works better in different situations, but let's have a look. First of all, you have the Githyanki. Githyanki have a proficiency in light and medium armor, which does not impose a disadvantage on your attacks or prevent the casting of spells. So, if you want to play a Warlock or a Wizard, if you start as a Githyanki, you will be able to wear light or medium armor and not have any penalty on your spells. Now, the Githyanki with the intelligence +1 bonus means that they're more suited to being a wizard, right? But you could do either wizard or warlock. This doesn't help you if you are a cleric, because clerics already get light and medium armor. Okay, and clerics, for that reason, because you have medium armor, you're not really suffering from this problem as much. You're going to have a comparable armor class to most of the other heavily armored characters. At least from what I can see in this first chapter, there is no heavy armor available. So in the early access, there is no heavy armor. It just seems to be light or medium. As a cleric, make sure you're wearing your medium armor. There'll be no more chance that you'll be targeted than anybody else. Rogues, though, are going to probably have a problem, because this doesn't mention whether the heavy armor affects their ability to sneak. It won't affect their ability to use their weapons, but they might not be able to do sneak attacks. They might not be able to hide in the heavy armor. So, rogues, you're out of luck. But I have tested this on Warlocks and it works. So, Githyanki is your one option. The other option, and the option that in some ways I think is slightly better, is the Shield Dwarf. They get light and medium armor proficiency. On top of that, you're getting your Dwarven Resilience, so you have protection against poison. You're getting Battle Axe, Hand Axe, Light Hammer, and Warhammer, and Dark Vision. All of these things are really useful if you want to use an axe or a hammer as a backup weapon as a caster. Then you've got plenty of options there. You've got Dark Vision, so you're not affected in any of the dungeon situations like any, like the humans and halflings, etc. are. But the big one is the +2 to Constitution. Now, you get +2 to Strength, which as a wizard or a warlock isn't a big thing, but that +2 to Constitution is going to give you an extra couple of hit points. So it's going to mean that the whole way through, you're going to be pretty much on an even standing with the fighters and the rangers and the clerics as far as hit points go. All right? So the two things that you're getting out of this is you're getting extra hit points and armor, plus you're getting some protection from poison and some extra weapons and some dark vision. The only downside is that your racial movement speed is down to 7.5 meters. That's it. So in early access, this is the character I'm going to pick. And I will actually, we'll go through and we'll pick abilities. You can't get your charisma to 16 to make that +3 because 15 is the max you can go without a racial bonus. You don't need a cent. If you want to really max it out, min-max it type of thing, keep your wisdom at 10, drop your intelligence back to 10, right? You've got constitution of 16, which is, you can go to 17, but it doesn't give you any advantage for the points that you get out of it. Instead, put those points into dexterity. So that gives you even more armor class, as long as the armor that you pick supports at least +2 dexterity, then you're going to be able to get better armor, more hit points. You've still got your good charisma there. If you wanted to, you could take that back to 14 and put a couple of points in strength. It's entirely up to you, but I would leave that in. The charisma is 15, so you've got that little bit of a head start later when you want to increase that. But remember, any of these can only ever get to 20. That's the absolute maximum. Origin's not going to affect you at all here, so pick anything you want, but I'll pick my default guild artisan. I've done race. Appearance I'm not caring about. Class, we've picked our warlock. Skills we've done, it doesn't matter, but I will change intimidation to investigation. We've done our abilities. I'll, just for the sake of it, I'll pick that.
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
And I'll show you one other little trick. We'll come back in a minute. The next trick is really, really important. So I'm going to dive into the start of the game, and we're going to come back at one little point that is like a couple of minutes into the game, like 5 minutes into the game. And I'll show you the one other important thing that you should do. And from then on, your character will not have a problem surviving at all. Actually, I'll show you it rather than fast forwarding this. I'm going to basically, normally I would search all of these guys and, look for treasure and stuff. But I want to just get straight through to the meat and potatoes here, to the important part. Although, does one of these guys have the axe on them? No, it must be out there somewhere. Yeah, it is. Alright, so get out here. Why is that target too far? It's not too far. Okay. Jump across.
Your head, the roll.
Imps block the path
first. We will address the matter of it.
Okay, so now we have Lizelle in our party. And here's what we do. Take your armor off. Give it to Lizelle. Switch to Lizelle. Get her to equip your armor. Give her armor to you. She's now got an armor class of 12. Oh. Sorry, misclicked. Don't mind me. You now have an armor class of 17. All right, this is one of the better armors in the game. It's 15 base armor class and it supports a dexterity bonus of 2, meaning you can get an armor class of 17 there. If we now go into this first battle, and even with Lizelle in the rear, I'm going to charge into this battle. So she starts all the way back there. I'm actually going to leave her in the rear and switch her to using a bow. And you watch the enemies. I will move forward and I will attack. Oh, no, that's what I wanted to do. Here we go. Boom. He's dead. Now watch the other. Watch who they target. Oh, I haven't done it yet. But they're going to target Lizelle. They're not going to target me because she's got less armor than I have. Despite the fact that I'm closer, they haven't bothered to attack me yet. I'll attack this one in the back. Alright, and it's now their turn. Bang, they attack Lizelle. Now if we had swapped everything so that I had the lesser armor and she had the heavier armor, they would have been attacking me. It's not 100%, it doesn't always work that way. Come on, can I target him behind there? I can move and hit him.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Yes, I am. So we've started as a warlock. We've now got the highest armor class in the party. We've got 11 hit points, which is comparable to Lizelle's 12. This is a warlock, and you could do the same with the wizard. It would be exactly the same. You would just, rather than bumping your charisma, you would build your intelligence. And then the rest, as I said, you'd keep charisma and wisdom at 10. And you'd make sure you could get your constitution up to 16, get your dexterity to 14. You would not have a problem. You'd be all set. So yeah, if you're frustrated with playing a warlock or a wizard, try playing it as either a Githyanki or ideally a shield dwarf. And you will find, swap the armor with Lizelle as soon as you get her in your party, swap the armor out. Later on, when you get some other medium armor, you can give that back to Lizelle, and that is fine. But you take her armor straight up, and you are not going to have a problem for the rest of the thing. People are not going to be beating you down all the time. They will be targeting her or anyone else who's less armored than you are. So it's just a quick little tip. I hope you enjoyed this one. Any comments, leave them down below, and I will see you for the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.